Welcome back to the Brrrr Investor Podcast, where our mission is to empower aspiring real estate investors in their journey towards building generational wealth. All right, I'm super excited. If you haven't heard of PadSplit, or even if you have heard of PadSplit, you want to stay tuned. You want to listen till the end because you're going to learn a lot right now from Devin Age. Devin is joining us from PadSplit. So, Devin, thank you so much for taking the time and joining us today.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I truly appreciate it. I feel honored to be on the podcast for sure.
And we truly appreciate your time and the support that you've been really giving the community because this is a fairly new model, at least, for us here in California and in the LA area. You and I connected about a few months ago. You came to our event, and as I mentioned to you, I was very intrigued with the PadSplit model. I learned about it a few years ago back at one of the Bigger Pockets conference. And I was just bummed it wasn't out here in LA, but I was waiting patiently, and now here you guys are.
Wasn't really the most money making avenue. So went into real estate, started off in the title insurance space, worked my way up from like just working in customer service to then ended up in sales. But always at like prop tech startups. So it was a startup title company, then ended up at another prop tech company that was like an agent referral service. And then now I'm over here at PadSplit. One of the things that I always say that I've actually had somebody in LA in my role as PadSplit tell me, they said, I was doing an event on a Tuesday night. I was going on vacation the next day, and he said, "Hey, can you send me an intro to this other investor?" And I said, "Sure," when I get back from vacation. Monday comes back, I send him the intro, and he goes, "Wow, you actually did it." He's like, "Nobody follows through anymore." And I was like, I just can't do anything else. Like, that's just part of who I am. So, between that and my knowledge of all these fields, I think it's really helpful for sure.
And you pointed out some really cool strategic things as far as, have if you have multiple bedrooms, how you price it out, how you market it, right, for you to achieve success rather than, if you have like, let's say 8 bedrooms, don't put them all on at the same time. Some of the cool things you mentioned, which, we want to share with our listeners and viewers, like, having a private entrance, that's going to be a plus. It's going to, allow you to get more income, having a private bathroom and so forth. So those are good things to know because it helped us. And when we went on the walkthrough, one of the properties, I thought I had 3 bedrooms in it. And after we left there, you and I decided, it's easily 5, right, in the main house alone.
Anyway.
Uh,
And what that did was it took it from a 4 bedroom to a 5 bedroom property. And so now there's a little bit more wiggle room. If one room goes vacant, you still have another room bringing in more income. And yes, it's a little tinier, but it filled. That property went live 2, 3 weeks ago, 100% occupied, right? So what people don't kind of think sometimes, like, why would anybody rent this small room? But if it makes sense, it's $700 a month. You're never going to find anything like that anywhere nearby. Then somebody will do it.
mhm.
Now, if you have all your other rooms at $1,300 a month, and then you're trying to get $1,250 for the tiniest room known to man, and that's a closet, essentially, it's probably not going to make sense. So you just have to temper those expectations appropriately.
The risk management as far as having tenants, long-term tenants versus like mid-term tenants and so forth. So there's a lot to really consider. But the cool thing is for that house that we just mentioned, the possibilities are there to get 6,000 in income from the main house, at least 2,000 in the ADU, and then do the numbers there. And that's just, scratching the surface of the potential of this particular property. So it really adds up, and it makes a difference from, renting it long term, having to deal with, potentially either a bad tenant, somebody that doesn't want to leave.
That's one of the key concepts. So, the ADU, being separate, that's totally fine, and that works really well. And the common example I say is, like, if you have like a 4 bedroom property that you would have rented for $4,000 a month, and every month that it's vacant, you're losing $4,000 a month. But
Mhm.
even if you don't do anything else to the property, and you have 4 rooms in there rented out at, say, $1,000 a month, one person leaves, you're still making $3,000 a month in revenue. And versus if you're able to add 5 or 6 bedrooms, and let me step back. Realistically, you're probably not going to get just 1,000 for those rooms. You're probably going to get like 1,200. So now 4 rooms, instead of $4,000 for a 12-month rental, $4,000 a month on a 4 bedroom house, now you're getting 48 as you go.
Yes.
And the goal is to get to 30,000 by the end of the year. And by the end of 2026, we want to get to 60,000 rooms. So, that duration will start to extend and extend. And especially because I think some of our early operators and co-living operators on the platform, like we started in Atlanta, I think they had a different mindset about it. They were like, I'm just going to cram every single possible room into here and make as much cash flow as possible. And now some of those early properties are kind of getting phased out because now you have more experienced operators who are coming on board who have built properties for PadSplit or know what they're doing a little bit better as far as the renovation. And they know people don't like necessarily want to rent all just cubbies, they're like, okay, rather than going 9, I might go 7 and make these all a little bit more comfortable, and then I can charge more, so I actually make more money at the end of the month versus these super tiny rooms. And on top of that, they keep the properties a little bit more maintained. They know what they're doing. They're working with a property manager, or they're just taking care of the properties better than some of those early hosts were. So I think that's going to be really something that we see over the years, is that tenure length really extends.
It's a great way for moms and pops, landlords as well, to be a little bit more hands-on, because it does allow them to interact with others amongst the platform. However, you don't manage the property, so that's one thing we want to make sure we're clear about, that PadSplit is not a property management company. You would have to either connect with a property management company, or connect with some like a team like ourselves that can help guide you through the process and help you manage it, or manage it yourself, right? Do you get a lot of resistance around that?
I mean, that's one of the biggest confusion points, I think, is a lot of people are like, well, if you don't manage the property, what do you do? Right. And what we do is we really simplify the co-living investment. So I always tell hosts, like, if you want to try this by yourself, you can. Like, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle, but at the end of the day, like, we make it easier. And really what our platform is designed for is to like help people scale in co-living. Sometimes calling, you might get a call back in a little while, because I'm usually in a podcast, or I'm in a call with someone else. I'm consulting with someone else. I'm walking a property. So texting is usually the fastest and easiest way to get a hold of me. And then from there, we can book a call or something like that. And then I also have a meetup group on Meetup, the Meetup site. It's called PadSplit in SoCal. I post all the events and things like that I attend, and that I'm presenting at, or that I host. I don't post everything I attend because I don't want people stalking me. But if I'm going to host an event, or I'm going to post, or I'm going to speak at an event, it'll be in there and it gets announced. And so when you sign up, you'll get those alerts for when my new events launch. And so once a month, I try to do an event called PadSplit and Pizza, where I do a quick small presentation about PadSplit. And then I have several people that we work with, like a realtor, a lender, and a property manager, come on board, and they talk about experiences with PadSplit and stuff like that. And then I also do a monthly webinar. So if you go on the Meetup group, you'll be able to sign up for the webinar. And
share all the secrets right now.
So I won't get too deep into that, but that's kind of what I've heard generally. But reach out to Alex if you want to learn how to do fix and flips for sure. But if you want to come to one of the presentations, I always say just sign up for the meetup. I don't like pester you or anything. I don't think Meetup even allows me to do that. But that way, like, when you do see something nearby, you can pop in, because I try to do the PadSplits and pizzas all around. My next one will be in Lakewood on the 30th of September. And then we're actually doing another one at Alex's office on the 21st of October.
Absolutely, yeah. And we'll definitely put the link to the meetup as well in the comment section below. Encourage you to check out Devin's meetups. We try to do a lot of collaboration together as well. You're extremely generous with your time. Again, it's very strategic. There are a lot of opportunities in today's market. Looking at the usual may not cut it, but now get creative. So truly appreciate your time. And if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the channel and check out other episodes that we have as well. And hope to see you, if you're in the LA area, hope to see you at one of our events. Again, Devin, thank you so much. And until next time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you all for joining us on the Brrrr Investor Podcast. If you found today's episode helpful, please hit like and subscribe to our channel for more real estate insights. We love hearing from you, so please leave your thoughts, questions, or topics you'd like us to cover in the comment section below. Be sure to check out our website, thebrrrinvestor.com, and follow us on social media at The Brrrr Investor. Keep learning and investing, and we'll see you in the next episode. I'm your host, Alex Nale. Stay invested.